Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Legend of Keepers. Legend of Keepers is gonna go into early access soon and we're gonna take a look at it today. So what is Legend of Keepers? It's kind of like a dungeon keeper-esque idea. You are the CEO of a dungeon and you want to lure enemies, as in adventurers, into your dungeon to harvest their blood and their tears in order to make yourself stronger and have a good year. Speaking of year, this goes like a full year and every week in that year you get an event. Sometimes adventurers raid your dungeon and you have some employees, as in your monsters, that'll help you defeat them. But we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna choose one of the three characters here. We can go for the slaveholder, who is really monster based. Then we have enchantress, which is really spell based. And then there will be engineer, was really trap based, but she will be released only in early access, which is gonna be on the 19th of March, as far as I can remember. So let's start with the slaveholder, and I'm gonna show you what this is all about. As you can see, I've already spent some talent points. My slaveholder is already at level 10, which means I can, invest a little bit into the skill tree here. We have: when a hero is killed by a monster, it grants a 20% chance for the group of monsters to gain enrage. The training price of monsters is reduced by 20%. Grants each monster in a garrison 30% chance to get one additional motivation back. I will talk about that in a second. We start with an additional skeleton dog, and one of our starting goblins is now a vampire. And that's how we're gonna be playing here. I'm gonna play ranked. You know what, we're gonna play custom with like normal difficulty settings. There's also like a Twitch integration that I didn't try yet, but I'm very eager to do so. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitch, link is down below in the description. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So our first week of the year is a group of adventurers. You can see our slaveholder, our boss down here. It has 900 health, and he gains 9 health per week. He's gonna be like the ultimate boss in that dungeon. Also, we have some employees, as you can see here. A bunch of different characters, and I would say for the sake of demonstration, we're gonna just use those. We have 2 rooms, by the way, that we can fill. And all of these characters have different skills, different resistances, different amounts of HP, and so on. And I think the best way to show you how it works is to just drop into the dungeon directly. So, 3 adventurers have raided our dungeon, and as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms at our disposal. All of them are kind of randomized, but there will always be 2 monster rooms, 2 trap rooms, and 1 spell room in between, and then of course at the very end the master. We need to prevent those adventurers to get to our master in order to, just beat them. Also, they have like different aspects here. For example, the barbarian. He is really beefy, having 220 health, and he's quite resistant to fire. Not very much to ice, which is good. He's quite high armor, that's physical damage, and actually quite bad nature resistance as well as air resistance. He deals physical damage to the frontliner, so it makes sense to put somebody with high physical damage, as in armor, to the first slot here, which is gonna be our good old orc. Who's that? We have air damage to the back from the exile here. Air damage to the back. Is there somebody who has high air resistance? It's Victor the Vampire who's gonna do that. And then we have the mage, the magician here, that deals fire damage to all of our slots here. The problem is that he also has a skill. He randomly moves all monsters to another position at the start of the first fight. So it doesn't matter where we're gonna put our people. Let's just do it like that. And I want somebody else that applies bleed, because we have a nice synergy. So I'm gonna also put the skeleton doggo over here. And I just hope that the randomization is not gonna be that big. Also, we can place one of our traps here. We have a circular sword, deals physical damage in area of effect, also applies bleed. There's a rallying horn that deals morale damage. You can also see they have kind of a morale, and that's the way to beat these adventurers. Either you kill them or you just beat their morale so much that they run away, and then you can harvest their tears, which is a resource. Otherwise you would harvest their blood, which is also a resource later to upgrade your monsters and so on. We have the bone catapult, deals morale damage as well as applying a debuff that deals more morale damage over time. And then we have the poison dart, dealing 14 H damage to the frontliner as well as poisoning them. I think I'm gonna go with the circular saw here. That's gonna be a spell room that is dependent on the master monster that we have. And here, just gonna be very quick about my decision. actually bring you and then you. Alright. So, and the last one is gonna be the poison dart because I just want to kill what remains of the adventurers there. Let's see if we can defend our dungeon. There we go. That's the randomization, and it actually came in almost perfectly here. I would have been happier if the vampire was in the back. So yeah, I could use one of my skill here on the doggo, skeleton dog. It's a physical damage attack to the front line that also applies bleeding. Bleeding is interesting because for each stack of bleeding, the enemy will take physical damage, 5 physical damage, and then one of the stacks goes down. So next round he then takes 10 damage, and then the round afterwards he takes 5 damage. Which means the higher we stack the bleed, the more damage we deal initially, and the more damage we deal over time. So that's the cool thing. So that's 72 air damage. Damage dealt increased by 10% for each stack of bleed to the front line. Not bad. You can also see the amount of health deducted when we attack here. But I want that. Bloody Assault, 72 physical damage. He has quite high armor, so the physical damage is not that much, but the bleed also spreads to the enemy behind. So now the Exile also has some bleeding. Yeah, you can see the fire damage is massive. And there goes our doggo. By the way, this is intended, so it's very rare that the first set of monsters survives the first assault. It's super rare. I'm thinking. I mean, this is the initiative order. We're gonna get fire damage a lot from the pyromancer, and then a lot of air damage from the exile. I do think that we can go for a bloodbath though. It's the most damage that we can deal right now. Very good. So the berserker is almost dead, or the barbarian. Ooh, we actually survived that, but the exile will now kill him. Boom. There goes our vampire. But here comes the cleaver, applying some more stacks of bleed. And now at the start of his turn, he's just gonna die. Perfect. So, circular saw in the next room. It's more physical damage as well as more bleed. Always good, never bad. And because we are playing the slave holder here, we have access to 3 different skills or spells in the spell room. We could either go Burning Whip, that's a lot of fire damage, and applies a burn debuff, which is basically the same thing as bleed, but it's a different source of damage. No Mercy, which enrages the next monsters in the next room, dealing more damage. Or Intimidation, dealing morale damage and terrifying them, making them take more morale damage later on. I want to just kill this exile here, so we're gonna go Burning Whip. Let's do it. Alrighty. I didn't really check my fire resistances. That was my bad. That was not good, actually. So this mage here, this magician, is gonna deal so much fire damage to all of my creatures, having negative 50 resistance, negative 35, and negative 20. But okay. Let's go. Ooh, how do we play this? It's probably gonna be Gust. Yeah, so 18 air damage to everybody, and we're gonna haste every monster in front of her, making them just faster. That's good. The ghost has a just morale attack, so you can do that. But I'm gonna go Spectral Wave to the backliner, dealing a lot of damage there. Don't die, please. She's gonna die. That's fine. Wild Strike will kill. That's good. Problem being... Oh no, wait, we have initiative. That's good. The haste was actually coming in clutch. So, 2 of our monsters survived that here, and after each fight, you get a bit of blood and tears depending on how you killed the enemies. And we get a bit of gold, as well as like a random item or upgrade or something. At this point here, we get an artifact. Merchant price reduced by 20%. Not using that so often. Fallen monsters have a 15% chance to lose 1 less motivation. That's kind of nice. Or monsters deal 15% additional damage and morale damage when their motivation is full, which I try to get always. Speaking of motivation, whenever a monster is killed, they're gonna be resurrected by the necromancer, and it's kind of a hard process, which means that if you do it too often, your employees will get into burnout, and then they will be unavailable for an extended period of time. So you really have to work around the motivation there and try to not get them killed so that they won't be resurrected. You could always put them back into the garrison here, and they will heal 2 motivation after each adventurer fight, that you leave them there without having them on the battlefield. Anyway, I'll put them back in here because there's one thing I want to show you. And that is the trainer. I can only train monsters that are actively in my rooms right now. Anyway, so we can make them stronger. It'll cost us a little bit of gold. And one of the first things I want to do is apply the passive here. Attacks apply bleeding on the vampire. So if you bleed enemies and then stack more bleeding behind the target that you actually hit, that's just massively good. I'm gonna train Victor. And I'm also gonna train... I don't know. I really, really like Oxeye here. Lots of fire damage. But we could also go down just the bleeding path completely. We are missing a goblin though, so the only one that can really bleed is the orc. Yeah, let's go. He gets another skill as well as a bit more health, which is great. The skill dealing 50 physical damage, and the damage is increased by 50% if the target is affected by bleeding. So we're gonna make like a bleed build out of this here, I think. So not enough gold for anything else, and we are in week 3. You can see the weeks are progressing, and we get random events here that we can choose from. So either a random event or we go plunder. And I think we're gonna go plunder here. We're gonna get some nice stuff out of it. How does plunder work? We have 3 volunteers. They are randomized based on what you have in your roster there. So my volunteers are Ogu, the doggo, Kogan, the orc, and then Oxar, the skeleton magus. And we have 3 destinations that we can go to, all of them randomized. If we go to the gold mine, we will probably get between 190 and 286 gold. But there's also a risk of injury of 75% for one of my volunteer for 10 weeks, which is massive. Breeding farm, our volunteers get 2 morale back. And in the next dungeon we get Enraged 3 for all monsters. But 100% one of the volunteers will be unavailable for 3 weeks. Or we go... Ooh. That's interesting. We're gonna get a lot of gold. The chance of an artifact as well. But 75% chance that our monsters are vulnerable. That's interesting. I like artifacts a lot, especially early, and I'm gonna go with that. Let's plunder. So, yeah, we're gonna be vulnerable. We get only 91 gold, which is the lowest. Not quite the lowest, but very low, and we didn't get the artifact, sadly. Anyway, let's go to the collectors, the tax collectors, which happen to be vampires. We can either pay them with blood or our own health, which is not that big of a deal because we're gonna recover 9 per week. So we're gonna accept that, lose 180 life, and get some gold back. And now we're gonna start the next fight. So you guys go. I'm gonna put the boarmen up here, and the rest of them are gonna stay in room 2. Well, how long will it stay? Just for the next dungeon. Okay, so 30% more damage that we received. That was not worth the 90 gold. 91 actually. But hey, there was a chance to get the artifact, so I was going for it. You know what? I'm gonna start with a... give me a second. I'm gonna start with the poison dart here, since the barbarian is relatively weak to nature damage. So, physical to the front. Because the barbarian deals physical damage to the frontliner, you deal air damage to the frontliner, but the boarman is also very well protected against air, that's perfect. And then you deal ice damage all around. Ice damage, also pretty good on him. Alright, so obviously, I'll take the Yeti, put it like to the back line, and then I'll put you in the middle. Alright, let's see what happens. There's the spell room, then there's the second thing room, the second trap room. So we have physical and air and ice damage. Physical, air and ice. Can put the ghost to the front, having higher, very high air resistance and good armor. The ice damage. I really want the skeleton magus on the board as well. I think I'll put it in here. Actually, put you in there. I'm gonna show you why later, when we are in that room. So, first debuff is gonna be a huge poison dart. Getting some poison on the enemy. They also, again, get poisoned, which is 5 nature damage. And I would say we're gonna try to destroy the healer as quickly as possible with a nice poison arrow from the skeleton archer here. dealing great damage, and even more thanks to the poison debuff. Shall we slow them here? Yeah, that's 15 ice damage overall. Area of effect, slowing the enemies so that my Boarman might be in the next initiative order, and now we can try to stun the frontliner. Could also broken armor him. Let's try stun, it's a 50% chance. And we did! So he didn't do anything this round. Very good. So, more poison arrow. With a bit of luck we get the healer down, because the healer here, the elf, has a skill that at the end of the combat, she heals 50% of a hero's maximum health. And I want to prevent that. So ice block to the back. Boom. Down she goes. Healer down. Go for the squishy ones first. Yeah, that's very good. I'm already happy about that. Here's the thing. Ice block doesn't deal too much damage to the midliner here. So I'm gonna go with the Frost Breath, because these debuffs, they will be reduced like per round. And at the moment, it holds for 4 more rounds. And I can apply 1 more. That's perfect. So they have pretty high stacks of slow, which means that they will carry it over to the next fight. It's great. Alright, Burning Whip. Yeah, we need to kill the Barbarian quickly if we want to win. Keep in mind, guys, we are taking 30% more damage in this. Alright, beat more damage. And thanks to the fact that they are slow, I should have initiative here. And I do, with all of my characters. Whirlwind. Whirlwind kills. Yeah, I want that. Boom, down he goes. So now I could actually start dealing morale damage here. Or physical damage. Are we good with morale damage? No, only the Spectre, the Ghost here, has a kind of morale ability. So we have to kill the Priestess completely. And here's the thing. Damage dealt increases by 5% per stack of penalty applied to heroes. She has 2, 5, 7, 10 stacks. So we have 50% increased damage because of all the debuffs she has. That's amazing. And it's an AoE attack that he has. Okay. Let's try to kind of win this without losing anybody. And I think we do. Even with the 30% damage increase debuff. Very good. So, what's that? Air damage and applies air weakness. It's a nice coil. It's a trap, basically, that we get. That's another poison trap. It's an AoE poison trap that applies 2 poison to everybody, but I think I want to go with the blood thing. So I'm going to take the extra money here. That's going to be very helpful to train our characters and so on. You can see some of them are a little bit demotivated. The others that I sent back into the garrison are now better motivated. And we have a trainer right away. That's perfect. Okay, you go back here. And we're going to train. Sure. So, training Mr. Victor. That'll give him more damage, more power, and more health. Like that a lot. That gives him a lot of resistances and more physical. Kind of like that. Kind of also want to dog most of the time. Alright, I'll do it like that. And that, having a tank basically. But I also need to think about my backliners. This is a very good skill. Alright, I'm gonna train the Faller. Let's go. Just making them as strong as possible. Next up, business trip. We cannot afford the engineer, which upgrades our traps, which we should also do at some point. And business trips are interesting because you just send your employees on a business trip. They will be unavailable for a bunch of weeks. 14 here, but they will also get you something back. For example, gold and motivation. Or gold and an artifact. And that is really good. 15% chance that monsters killed come back to life as a skeleton warrior is a great artifact. I really do like that. Always send the dog for 191 gold as well as 25 tears. Tears are a thing that you only get by killing enemies with morale or letting them flee. And that's a thing that we don't really do in this run. So it's a nice way to get that resource. I want the artifact though. Sending my strongest warrior. For 14 weeks. Man, he will be unavailable for a while. But this will help us. This will help us so much because you get the benefit directly, right? So we have the crystal skull as well as the gold. And I don't want to go for a merchant because you can buy monsters and trap from them. I don't want to buy anything right now. Let's go for an event. Could be positive, could be negative. Poisonous plant. The R&D manager has developed a new trap and seems to be very proud of it. He wants to secretly sell it to you for a few gold coins. If you refuse, there's a chance he might take it very badly. 75 gold for a trap? I've never tried the poison plant. Buy it, I guess. Alright, yeah, as a result we don't have enough money for the trainer. You can see, we do it anyway, but we just leave here. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it. I don't know. And we can already fight veterans. The rewards will be better, but I don't think that we are well set for that because Kogan is missing right now. And yeah, we are missing people left and right. So I think I have to put the Boarman in here. Period. I think I have to put the Boarman in here. And then the others need to recover. Man, a monster more, or maybe 2 monsters more, and I'd be very happy. So that I can swap them. Keep in mind, when my people attack with full morale, they deal 15% more damage. Anyway, what do we have here? Air damage to the front, physical damage to the front, physical damage to the back. Air and physical. Yeah, it's you. Can absorb that. It's physical to the back. Gonna put you there and you to the mid. That's good. Always think about how to survive this. What's a poisonous plant? Alright, that's 10 nature damage AoE and applies nature weakness, which is great if you want to go down the poison path afterwards. I don't think so though. No, you know what, we're gonna take the circular cell. Having the circular cell first to apply poison and then following up with the vampire, that would have been so great. But again, it's kind of randomized here and it's getting even scarier later on. So, air and physical to the front, you to the midline, you to the backline, and another trap, which is gonna be the poison dart, just cleaning up behind us before the big slaveholder is attacked. Let's see. Alrighty. So we could do a nice AoE damage here, morale as well as as air damage, but I think I'm just gonna bite, because bite applies bleed, and bleed is good for the vampire. Don't die. That's good. That is amazing. Alright, let's do it. So, 5 bleed here, also 3 bleed applied to the guy behind him. And yeah, that's the passive of the Priestess, replaces one of her debuffs with a buff. So the bleed is now gone, but it's okay. Sure, we're gonna try to stun her. We didn't do it. So at this point, it is bite, so that she's down. It's important that we destroy quickly here. Doggo down, but here comes the skeleton! And you know why I wanted a skeleton? I'm gonna show you in a sec. That is Bloodbath here. Keep in mind, whenever we attack with the vampire, we also apply 2 stacks of bleed because of his passive that we just trained. That's really good. Yeah, and he survived again. That's perfect. Which means we can... Shall we broken armor him? I think we should broken armor him. Broken armor gives him his armor reduced by 40. And now we could use our skeleton that just got awakened. And we deal 20 physical damage as well as 3 bleed, which is extremely good for the vampire yet again. Cool. Skeleton down. No, skeleton survives. Wow. That'll kill, I guess. Not right now, but we apply 2 more stacks of bleed, which reduces his life by 40. And he's just bleeding out afterwards. Alrighty, let's stun him again. Nope. Didn't work. But maybe the skeleton is doing it. Let's go, Blade Thrust. Yet again. 3 stacks of bleed. Perfect. And it still survives, and it's so good because she's gonna attack the backliner a lot, and this backliner doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, let's just go and try to kill here. So even if she kills the skeleton, has no impact on like morale or anything. This is a very good room here. Look at that. Boom. First room. And we only lost one monster. That is so amazing. That's a hard choice here. We could either take the skeleton soldier or the flying dagger. A flying dagger being a trap that deals 30 damage to the frontliner as well as applying bleeding 3. I mean, you know, there's a pattern here. I want another bleeding trap, but I also want another monster that also applies bleeding damage. And it's a very tanky monster. The passive is monsters behind the skeleton soldier take 25% less damage, which is extremely good. And it has a 60 physical attack with bleed, so we're gonna take him. I wanted more variety in my ranks here, so that I can swap them out better. So, you're gonna go. Actually, let's keep you in here for a second, so I can decide how I want to train you. The doctor heals your boss monster, by the way. Anyway. Who's gonna be it? I think it might be the Lancer here. The skeleton soldier. He gets another attack that's dealing 45 physical damage, and 100% of the damage is also dealt to the target behind it. So it's like piercing through the first two, or through the first target to deal damage to the target behind it. Also getting a bit more armor and more health. Seems like a plan to me, honestly. Or we just make the vampire as strong as possible. Ice resistance. Also not bad. At some point I also want to train the Yeti, I guess. Or maybe you. Yeah, the Boarman is actually quite good. I like him. A lot. Alright, let's see where this is going. I have not upgraded a Boarman to full. By the way, max level is 5. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's keep going. I don't necessarily want to plunder right now. Something bad could happen, and I think I'm a little bit low on people. Am I? No, I'm take that back. The only two that we really need to recover are those. The rest can do things. Yeah, let's try to get some strong items here. Let's see. Upgrade a trap, 100% chance. I like that a lot. Gold gain, and my volunteers get 2 morale. 30% to find... It's the same thing. 30% to find an artifact. Artifacts are strong. But let's upgrade a trap. Let's see where this is going. There we go. We got the poison trap. Okay. Poison dart is okay. It's relatively strong. Let's go event. A mage was falling from the sky. And we get a free artifact. Monsters have a 20% chance to start each fight with a random bonus. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Another plunder event. Sure, let's go. Let's see what we can get. Enrage for all monsters. Set a monster free. That seems good. Or upgrade a trap again. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's go. It's the poison plant. It's not that big of a deal to me, but hey. I'm not gonna go with poison. And I would say... this is fine-ish. Yeah, you know what? We are in week 15 of the year. Let's fight some more adventurers. Let's see what's coming. Also, the adventurers are getting stronger. They are level 2 now. Having a lot more health. Also, I hate the scholars. This type of enemy is so bad. It's so strong. It deals fire and ice damage. And whenever they kill somebody with their attack, the damage also is applied to the backliner. Like to the guy behind. This is so hard. Yeah, fire damage to the front. How do we absorb that? The answer is we don't. Because we also get air damage to the front. Actually, the skeleton archer might be it. And nature damage to the front. Yeah, it's all the strength of the skeleton archer. This is so weird. Yeti is really susceptible to fire, and there's a lot of fire flying around. I guess I'll take this guy here and the vampire to the back. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be a very hard fight. Poison dart here. Yeah, nature negative 45. We will try to kill the frontliner as quickly as possible. Then there's also the fire whip coming. Later on, we'll just drop the circular saw. Do some bleed. And then... man, I really have to think about this. I don't think that we can kill the scholar quickly. So here come our fire-based, fire and nature-based enemies. Enemies? No, characters. They are the enemies, we are the good guys. I also think I want I want you, because you can make us faster. Initiative is actually a thing here. Let's go. So this is gonna be very interesting. Oh yeah, and also the scholars attack you before the fight begins, and the assassins, they poison you before the fight begins. Boom, boom. I was a bit afraid that would happen. Okay. Let's go lead. Ah, okay, so it doesn't spread if you don't have any stacks yet. Alright, got it. Hey, she's bleeding out. One of the debuffs is gonna be converted into a buff. Oh, come on, give me one more. But no. The vampire is very weak to fire. Again, they are super strong. Don't like it. She's gonna take a substantial amount of damage here though, thanks to the nature resistance that she doesn't have. And we're gonna just kill her with Burning Whip. So that's one of them down. It was important. It just reduces the damage overall on the board. Try to keep my employers happy. Employees, actually. Okay. Here comes the ice damage. Here comes the poison. Wait a sec. How fast are you? 115.85. That actually makes a difference. Oh, what? You blocked that? Oh, she has a passive. Ignores the first attack suffered. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, and I can only deal fire damage to the back. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna die. It's a substantial amount of damage as well. But we can destroy the assassin, that's good. And now we kind of have to just kill her with fire. Although she's super resistant to fire, having 65% armor on that. And yeah, this is it, like the double attack. It's the first time we're actually getting to see our slaveholder. Nice early damage. Cool thing is, Whiplash deals 80 physical damage and it heals 20% of the damage dealt if the enemies are bleeding. Enslavement, 28 air damage to AoE and applying bleeding 3, and then we have minus 40 morale to the frontliner. Let's go. Let's just kill her. I wonder if the heal was coming through. Ooh. 2 elementals. An air and an ice elemental. That's... interesting, but... not that much, honestly. I think I need more, like, physical-based stuff. Like, I really want to build around bleed and maybe poison, so I'm not gonna take that. I'll take the gold to make my monsters that I have stronger. Speaking of, let's put you in here. Always want to try to stay at high morale, so that's the important thing. Anyway, where do I go with that? I need you to get high on levels. Damage dealt increased by 100% if the target's armor is negative. That seems like a plan. I like that a lot. Alright, Boarman, be good. Thank you. We could Workout. Workout is, you know, making our slaveholder a bit stronger, and we have to pay in blood and tears, of course, because that's what you do when you're sweating. I go for the event, though. Yeah, maybe we can get some gold. Ah, crap. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. The lab assistant is about to make some modifications to one of your traps. You know that he's always messing up, and that the trap will be unusable. Fixing it takes 5 weeks. Yeah, I'll forgive him. But I don't like it. So we cannot go training, we don't have the money for it, we have to go for the event. Ooh. So the walk-in fridge is full of bodies. The doctor could resurrect a fresh human and transform it into an employee in exchange for a little blood. I'll do that, thank you. It's another poison archer. Oh, we're not yet set for veterans, I would say. It's not really possible. God. All of you want to recover. Okay, I'll take... you, I guess? Alright, we'll do it like this. No, like... Yeah, actually, this is it. This is how we roll it. Let's see. We're playing against adventurers. Next week is coming. And yeah, all the combinations of, like, how you set up your traps, how you set up your monsters, how you prioritize upgrades, and so on. It really comes down to a very interesting, dynamic roguelite experience. Was that? Get 5% of the hero's maximum morale at the start of each turn. Wow. She's the fire and ice dude. Do this, actually. Okay, air, fire, and physical to the back. Okay, I need to put you to the front. You have physical, you go to the back. Oh, the Yeti is gonna die. I see it coming already. And he's gonna die pretty quickly. What about... Nature weakness 5. We have a bit of nature damage coming here. I'll do that. Let's put the plant in there. Very good. So, fire damage needs to be absorbed from the front. Let's do it like this. Alright, all good. Another trap. This is gonna be the poison dart. And I have the feeling that those guys, in this combination, they will come through to my slaveholder there. By the way, if the slaveholder dies, your run is over. Like, that's your ultimate goal. Maybe I should have talked about that. Yeah, I'll go with the bite here, so that she uses her skill already. The skills with the round symbol are one-time use. Okay, ice block to the back. We might kill in 2 turns here. Seems good to me. Ooh. Yeah, she got hasted. Oh, Boarman, don't die. I'll try to stun. We didn't stun. It's a 50-50. And here I need to howl. I need to howl specifically for the chance of the Yeti to get the ice block out and kill. Was very close. That was very close. If she killed the Boarman, the apprentice here, the Flame Hound would have gone over to the Yeti. But hey, we have one adventurer down, and that's important. Yeah, he's dead now. No, he's not. Ooh, strong Yeti. So here comes the nature weakness, as well as a bit of damage. Nature is everything about poison. It's a nice burning whip. She should be technically dead, taking the burn damage as well. Yeah, and them having the debuffs now also means that our passive here deals more damage. It's for every... Yeah, every negative that the enemies have. The more of them, the better. Absorb the fire damage. Good job. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Initiative says that we have our Flame Eater that can go like that. Very good. I'm very happy that none of these guys got destroyed. Ooh. Succubus. That's very interesting. Since her attacks jump to the targets behind if the armor is positive. That's super interesting. She deals fire and nature damage. It's rather squishy though. Or we could upgrade our physical attack on the slaveholder, or we get some gold. I'm gonna go with her, because succubuses are actually quite good. And again, I wanna have enough people so that we can swap out the ones that have high morale. Alright, so doctor says 90 life healed, nothing else, it's fine. We couldn't go to the trainer thanks to the fact that we didn't have enough money. The alchemist, by the way, transforms blood into tears and tears into blood. An ice skeleton? For 75? No. I'm not gonna go down the ice path. I'll ignore that. I don't need it. It's a very cheap one, though. Ooh, what's that? 2 of your employees have been caught red-handed brawling like 2 elves for a hairbrush. Will you be tough and suspend them for 5 weeks, or threaten them with a pay cut to be sure it won't happen again? That'll give him -2 morale. What happens if I ignore that? One of them might die, I believe. Do I care? 5 weeks. Would be great if I could see what the next encounters would be. If I threaten them, I would also not take them. I'm gonna ignore that. Let's see what happens. Nothing? Alright. We need more money, so we're gonna go to the collectors. And the collectors we could either pay with the blood that we harvested from the heroes, or we just accept some life loss, because we heal up. Anyway. So, week 24. Who are we putting on the fight? Let's see. I'll go for the vampire. I'll go for the skeleton soldier. I'll put you over here. Yeah, we have a lot of options here. Let's do it like that. Let's see where this is going. Looks very interesting. Also, we have our orc back. He's back from the business trip. Let's go. I think I could go for it. The veterans here. Yeah, let's go. It's gonna be a bit more difficult, obviously, but the rewards will also be very high, or higher than normal. Oh, that's perfect. We're gonna start with the circular saw, 100%. Oh, that's so good. So, air damage, nature damage, and fire damage to the back. Ooh. Air and nature. I put you to the front, that makes a lot of sense here. Fire damage to the back. I mean, I could put you over here, but I also want Victor. Let's go. Let's play it like that. That's the poison dart. Pretty good. Then we have the spell room and... And... She's gonna die quickly, I think. He is not that much. I put 2 skeleton archers here. And the fire guy to the backline. Because the ranger is shooting, obviously, fire attacks to the back. Also, ignores the first trap. That's the passive of the ranger there. So, 2 of them have already some bleed, which is very nice. That'll really help us out. I'll do the Bloody Assault, giving the assassin, the thug here actually, some more bleed. That's very interesting. I'm gonna go with the infection, and it applies to all of them since all of their armor is positive. Again, that's the cool passive of the succubus. It can go AoE like crazy. So Priestess is gonna convert one of the debuffs into a buff. Obviously the highest stack here. Killing my frontliner. Please hold it. Just hold it. Not too happy about that. But we are still alive. I will... Man. Let me go Bloodbath. Bloody Assault might be enough, honestly. Very difficult. I'm gonna go Bloodbath here. I wanted the Thug to also bleed a little bit more, but it's gonna be okay. Actually, wait, she didn't have any stacks, so it was the right choice. Anyway, let's go. I'll Infernal Kiss here. That's gonna be fire damage, killing the frontliner, dealing massive damage to the midliner. The backliner is now just killing... Yeah, this room is over. Hey, we got a skeleton though! Hell yeah! Let's do it! Oh, I love this! Look at that, he just died because of the bleed and everything. This is more damage over time, I guess. This is 45. This is 40 directly. Yeah, we'll do that. Here we go. And you're dead. Cool thing is, here comes the big poison dart. And she has negative 25% nature resistance. Means we deal more damage with the poison. Hell yeah! Alright, good money out of this here. Very nice. As well as a skill increase. I think I'm gonna go Whiplash. Just a big physical attack. Makes sense. I don't think that many adventurers will get to my slaveholder at all. And that means if there's one, then I'm just gonna Whiplash them and they will die. Business trip seems good here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can get out of this. This is another artifact. Skeletons gain 10% more life. I mean, that's a crystal skull. But... we don't have that many skeletons, do we? Give me a second. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The doggo is also a skeleton. That's 5. That makes actually some sense. And that's 10%, so it would be 6 here. 4 or 5 here. That's a 10. I mean, it's a tier 1. If you find that same thing again, it will be upgraded to tier 2, giving us higher values. I'm really thinking about putting the succubus over to an 8-week business trip, getting us a lot of gold and tiers. Yeah, I'll do it. Let's go. Oh, Sanctuary is also extremely good. I'm very much looking forward to that. One of your employees was found dead this morning, but it has been too long for them to be reanimated. It must be some kind of retaliation after the brawl that occurred previously. I mean, I'm not using the ghost anyway, so I'm actually quite okay with that. Let's go, Sanctuary. That's pretty cool. We can get a permanent buff here. No, debuff. Debuff for the heroes. We could either apply 3 bleed on the start of their run. Give them 3 morale, demoralized. That's a debuff that reduces their morale over time. Or we could poison them at the very start. I mean, we're obviously going for the bleed. Because the higher we stake the bleed, the better it is. And then we can train, that's perfect. So, get you in here. Let's see what we can do. Let's go trainer. We have 725 gold. That's incredible. That's a lot. He's still pretty slow when it comes to his like speed overall, but his health is going up. It's a thing I really like. I also need to think about upgrading my others a little bit. Victor gaining more health is good. Area fire damage consumes a stack of burnt applied to all hero. And when it's consumed, I think it's directly applied to all of them? That's interesting. No, I'm not gonna do that. I will try to go with the highest like bleed thing here. Maybe it's Skeleton Doggo, and I mean this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna take this guy, and I'm also thinking that I'm going for Skeleton Doggo, and I also want Victor ultimately, and then we have a little bit of room to. The Harpy is super squishy. She's a tool, which is nice. Getting us faster. Yeah, I'll go for one of these skeleton archers.
Stronger heroes are coming from faraway lands. In order to better combat this threat, we have increased the size of our dungeons.
Alright, so the dungeon has an additional room now, and we can reliably go for veterans now because of that. This room is gonna help us so much. You will see that. I'll put one of the skeleton archers over here to have some more options, basically, to choose from. And that's exactly what we do. Alrighty. Let's go. We're gonna be playing veterans in the hallway. It's also very important now in which biome we play. Because we have a new room. This is an event room here. And depending on where we are, we have different events to choose from. And they are beneficial to us. Really good. But yeah, we are playing veterans here. Level 3. It's a lot of randomization. Area of effect, fire damage. Area of effect, nature damage. Again, they are getting stronger. They're dealing area of effect damage now. And then we have air. So, fire, air, and nature. I'm really thinking about Kogan here. I should put the skeletal archer into this whole thing. Fire, air, nature. You're really susceptible, but you have a quite high physis. You have a lot of health. I think I'll do it like that. They're gonna be randomized anyway because they have one of these mages with the skill here. So let's go circular saw. No? Yes, maybe? Yeah, makes a lot of sense here. They have rather low physical. Then fire, ice, and nature is coming. No, fire, air, and nature. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Actually, let me think about that. Yeah, that's good. Never mind. So, and we're gonna apply some poison here. I don't think that the adventurers will get there even. But hey, again, we are fighting veterans now. These guys could be really dangerous. Also, they start with 3 stacks of bleed each, which is great. Not the stacking that I wanted to have. I'd rather have one of the beefy guys at the front here. Sure, let's go Toxic Volley. Apply a bit of damage to everybody. And 2 stacks of poison. Ow, that hurts so much. So, she put one of the bleeding stacks to enrage now. Which means we're gonna cleave her. Cleave her, Johnny, cleave her. Let's do it. Broken armor? I don't think that we're gonna survive this for the next round. We might as well try to stun here. did? Alright. That gives us a chance to get another shot out here. Fire Mage is kind of bad though. He's gonna kill the Boar Man. Right, the Orc survived. Priestess did nothing, so we can cleave her once more. We can also Frenzy now. We deal more damage if the target is bleeding. I'll do it. It's just damage that we can deal now compared to damage that we won't deal later because our Orc is dead. Sorry, Orc. Circular Saw! Come on! Yay! And then we also go for... yeah, that's the spell. I think I'm gonna go... Burning Whip? I could also Enrage here. I think Enrage might be a thing. It will be, yeah. Makes more sense to Enrage my monsters in the next room, because we have an event that's coming. And that event could be Swarm of Bats, 30 physical damage plus 3 bleed, or the Goblin Horde, minus 50 morale and demoralized, or the Heat Wave, that's 30 fire damage and fire weakness. We have a bit of fire floating around there, the next room. I go with the Swarm of Bats because why not? Here we go. Ow. I hate that we get a bunch of stacks of poison early on. So, there we go. I'll... Toxic Volley. Because the more stacks of debuffs we can do, the higher the damage from the Flame Eater, thanks to his passive. Alright, we got this. I hope. Yeah, it was close. It was very close, but the 3 monsters here, they survived this. Alrighty. So, lots of money, possibly. Or, a level 1 Gruesome Surprise. That's a morale-based trap that applies Terrified. Terrified means they take 50% more morale damage from each source afterwards. Or the Troll Beer Tier 2. Monsters have 15% more damage, or 15 plus 20, like 35% more damage and morale when their motivation is full. And I also always try to get that. That's a very good pickup for us. The gold was also extremely intriguing, but I mean... You know what? We're gonna finally go to an engineer. Upgrade our circular saw to 30 physical damage as well as bleeding. The next upgrade will be more stacks of bleeding, which is super handy. Cool. And you always place a trap, basically. Seminar. That would be a permanent buff to our hero, to our monsters. Yeah, let's go. Let's see what we can do. We could either get +2 armor if we pay for 52 weeks, like for a full year. For what is that? 25 blood and 15 tears. I think I want that. Or we get +1 motivation for 15 blood. No. I'll take that. I'd rather have this here, applying 2 burn whenever we attack. It's really good, but I'm gonna take the defensive thing here. Very good. So we are not, not resourceful enough to get the trainer. Let's do a workout. Actually getting 90 health. Sure. Why not? And we're definitely gonna go for another stack of veterans there. So, who do we pick? It's you guys. Go ahead and bleed them to death. So, what did we get? Armor increased by 40. Ooh. That's amazing. Like, it's only physical damage that we are absorbing, but 40 additional is super handy. And we start with the saw, that's so beautiful. And we start with the hallway event. So we're gonna go with the Swarm of Bats, the circular saw, applying so much stacks of bleed to them. Great. Okay, front is air, everything is nature. I can actually put Victor to the front. Do I need to think about anything here? That's difficult. I actually want the Harpy in the back. I want Victor on the front. And I also want... That's difficult now. It's not. It's actually the other way around. Alright, we're gone. We're good. It's a bit unfortunate that the trap is like behind the monsters. We could have dealt some more damage. What do you do? Nature, nature and air. And you're weak to what? Fire, fire, fire. Alright, put you to the front, put you to the back, put you there. Fine. Let's go. Let's go poison dart here and see what we can do. Ta-da! Ah, man, I think we can get real strong in this one here. So, swarm of bats. Bleed them. More bleeding! Oh, look at all the damage that we are dealing up front. It might be that we are winning this in the first encounter. Uh-huh. Alright. So, I need speed. Give me speed, please. Bit of AoE damage, that'll also help very much with the poison to kill and so on. Spreads the stacks of bleeding to the target behind. Yeah, sure, thank you. So, this guy should be dead. Didn't even get an attack out. Impalement does nothing. It would hit the guy that is on the ground, so you know what? Bleed you a bit more. The nature damage to the backline is not relevant because she has a 40% reduction. Ow. That's Bloody Assault again. Ah, it didn't carry over either, I think. Seems like it. And yeah, whirlwind and we're gone. Let's go home. Easy peasy. So, another artifact. Horn of Plenty. Fallen monsters have a 15% chance to lose 1 less motivation. It is nice, but 1 less is not that big of a deal. When they fall, they lose 2, and when you put them back into the garrison, they gain 2, so it's basically always like a 2. Unless you have the higher tiers of that, obviously. Each hero has a 30% chance. No, actually, it's just a chance that increases, right? Yeah, I think so. Each hero has a 30% chance to be affected by Demoralized at the start of the dungeon. We are not doing morale damage, so this is irrelevant to us. And then skeletons gain life. Yeah, okay. Let's take that, I guess. Not that big of a deal, but okay. I'm gonna go with an event here. I'm not sure if we have enough money to upgrade a trap there. The Rapist. That'll give us morale back. I'm taking the event. Let's go. Ooh. Ah. Skeletons gain 10 life. Will be replaced with Horn of Plenty. No. No, thank you. Big question is, we are in week 35. We can still send somebody on a business trip, or we just go plunder. Yeah, let's go with the business trip. Later on, you should probably not do that anymore, because at that point, when you're close to week 52, which is the end of the year, obviously, then you won't get the benefit. You won't get your monster back anymore. You get the benefits, but you won't get the monster back. Traps deal 20% additional more damage. Yes. That's a 14-week investment here, but still. 274. Now we can afford getting another trap upgrade. That's bleeding 3. That's extremely good. Another business trip? We would set so many monsters to business trips here. But everybody is at perfect motivation right now, so I can completely afford that. Let's go. Let's get stronger, guys. Ooh, tier 3 of Troll Beer. That's now 55% more damage. Yeah, I have to. Man, I have to sand back my level 3 dog for that. But hey, that's tier 3. It's perfect. Alright, let's put a team together. This team will consist of basically everybody. That's perfect. Fun. Sure, we'll do it like this. Yeah. And then we go for veterans. Because we can. Oh man, I like the game. It's really cool. So, level 4 heroes now. Can't be affected by poison. Yeah, that's great. Grants a 50% chance to apply stunned when attacking. Oh. And applies elemental weakness when attacking. Oh. Well, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So you deal nature damage, fire damage, and ice damage. This is all over the place. Fire and ice and nature. See, the guy in the front cannot be affected by poison. I'm worried about the fire. We will get scrambled anyway, thanks to the Ice Wizard here. Yeah, let's go. Circular Saw. Biggest trap, AoE first. As long as they are still alive. We will probably lose all of our 3 guys on the front. Fire damage to the back. I want you here. 50% fire resistance. I definitely want you. And I want you as well. Let's go. It's all fire here. See how this goes. I'm a bit afraid of the archer in the middle. So, Stalactite Falls. It's a different event now. It's physical damage as well as frostbite, which is basically ice damage per turn, like what we had with bleed and poison and burn and so on. It's just that. We could also do ice damage and apply easy target. Damage taken from traps increased by 100%, but it only lingers for 2 turns. It's not that easy right now to apply that to the trap later on. And then we can apply ice damage and slow the enemies. I'm gonna go with the physical damage. Let's do it. You really have to think in a very complex way about rock, paper, scissors here. While attacking and defending, and you have so many variables. Ow. Yeah. Good job. Hey, we got a skeleton at the very least. I mean, that's okay, that's cool. We can stack some more bleed with it. That's fine. So, that's a frenzy. Holy crap. Dude! Alright, stun him? No? Okay. Skeleton. Yeah, Blade Frost here, so that we can frenzy with the Orc again. Because the Orc's frenzy deals 50% more damage when the target is affected by bleeding, obviously. Maybe we are winning this in the first room. I mean, look at that. Frenzy. Boom. If we get a stun out, that would be... Never mind. Very low physical. Holy crap. Do I want another monster? I think we are good. None of these really matter to us. I'll take the gold and make the monsters that we have stronger. Wow, that was completely different from what I would have expected here. Completely. Like the opposite. Let's train the monsters. Let's make them stronger. Victor level 4. What do you get? Better bleed? More nature and fire resistance? The fire resistance is so damn important. He's gonna die too quickly. And I want you. Do I? I have the feeling a lot of the fights are basically defined in the first room, in the first hallway. First monster hallway. By the way, the Skeleton Archer getting a passive here. Attacks apply an additional stack of poison, which is extremely good. Also, he gets faster, so that they always basically get a turn. With 100 speed, they will act very, very quickly. And most of the time, just get one shot out, and when they die, then so be it, then they die later on. So high initiative is also good. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a Skeletal Lord. That's a special monster here. Like each category of monsters, we have like beast monsters, skeletal monsters, elementals, demons, and is there anything I'm missing? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, they have like a special monster with some real cool abilities, and they're really strong, but they cost 500 gold, and I cannot hire it. So, no more business trips for us. I'm gonna plunder. Give me another artifact, please. Or gold. Just a lot of gold. I don't care about any of those, even if they are unavailable for 10 weeks. Sure, whatever. Let's go, take the money. Yeah, the Yeti. The Yeti was probably my least interesting monster that I have. It's an interesting monster, don't get me wrong, but in the setup that we have right now, not good. We could level up a random monster twice if we send it to a course, but it will be unavailable for a while. It will be a pretty good power spike, though, for the last fight. I'll do it. Ah, it's you. Unavailable for 8 weeks, but 2 levels. For cheap. Let's do it. Alright, let's keep going. All of these are unavailable. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'll also put Victor back to recovery. And... put you in here? This is a good setup for the late game, I guess. I need some options early on so that I can build around my strength and weaknesses of the enemies there. Let's check it out, guys. So, what do we get? Oh my god, fire. Great. Air to the back, and then physical to the front. It's not that bad. We can put the Boreman up here. Was the air to the back? It's quite air resistant. Oh, wait. Yeah, they're weak to nature. We're gonna do that. And it might be... you here. Yeah, she also has the poison kiss. We're gonna pivot a little bit more into poison in this fight here. Speaking of... armor is high, armor is low in the backline. I'll go circular saw first. This is gonna be a very interesting fight. Alright, poison down here. And then I think it doesn't really matter how we set up. I need physical. We don't have any physical. Ooh, boy. You here, and you there. Okay. Let's check it out. So, hallway event is definitely gonna be the bats. Very good. Lots and lots of bleed on them. The initiation is so bad. And they're also enraged, dealing way more damage now. So Toxic Volley would give us a lot of damage over time. But I could try to kill the backliner with 2 of these. Oh, never mind! I forgot that they're ignoring the first attack suffered. That's bad. Yeah. Should have gone for the AoE so that I at the very least dealt some damage to the frontliners and the backliner would have used her passive there. Foreman is dead. No, he's not! Wow, stun him? Stun is never coming out. Point still stands. I want her dead. And she is. At this point, I don't need to bother about her anymore. Got a skeleton. Skeleton is not gonna live though. Is he? Hey, we get another shot out with the skeleton. That's so good. Let's do a blade thrust. Keeping him bleed. Ooh. Scholar is down. What about the Imajagan? Yeah, dealing more damage. But this is perfectly fine for me, honestly. I do believe that we got this in the bag already. Hopefully the next fight is not gonna start even. Let's go. More damage. It's rather weak to poison. So that should be a kill. Alright, the fight is actually starting, but we should have initiative there, and the poison arrow is gonna do it. Pretty good. Phew, we have a Naga. Nagas are interesting, because they deal air and ice damage as well as morale damage. That's Pandora's box. It's trap. Negative 12 morale, and stacks of all penalties applied to heroes increased by 2. It's like they just get amplified, you know, that's what it says and what it does. It could be interesting. We could also just keep our poison and circular saw trap combo online. Yeah, I'll take the gold here. Let's try to make the monsters a bit stronger. There's a trainer coming up. 2 trainers coming up. Interesting. So, those are the ones that I have. We're running out of options, sadly. Do I go for an event here, hoping that I get some money, and then go for the second trainer? Yeah, I'll do it. I don't need to repair the strap, no. I don't use it. And sure, we're gonna go for the trainer here and see what we can get. The amount of monsters that we had available, we're higher at some point. Making Victor really good is a good idea, I think. I'll do it. Okay, so Victor is level 5 now. You can see there's a silver border around his portrait, which means that he is at max level. No black market. Actually, no, we can sell monsters on black markets. but I'm pretty low on monsters right now as it stands. So we're gonna go for another event. And honestly, I'll take the ice skeleton for 30 blood. What am I gonna do with the blood anyway? Sure, we have another creature that we can either send on business trips, that we can use in the hallway fights and so on. But yeah, we are pretty low on options right now. These two need to heal. Victor and Kogan alone on the front. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna go all in. Put the strongest ones to the front and hope for the best. And we're gonna be fighting veterans in the hallway here, in the like, castle environment, because the bats are gonna be so interesting for us. Cool. Circular sword, that is what I was hoping for. Pretty good. So we get air damage to the front, physical damage to the front, and fire damage to the front. What the actual hell? Air, physical, and fire. None of you guys are really set up for that. Put you there, put you there. Let's see. Ooh. Poison dart next. Hallway event. That's a spell, and I'll put you here. And then we'll try to beat you. So this is a very good chain of events there. It might be that the enemies are dying just in the hallway, thanks to the trap, the event, the spell, and then they won't reach the last fight. Hopefully. Ow. That hurts. Let's go. A bloody assault. Getting 5 more stacks of bleeding to the back line. Okay. Deals damage. And increases the highest stack by 2. No! You bastards! No! Come on, Victor! Do something! Sadly, she's not bleeding. Oh, she was not bleeding.
I'm committed.
Yeah, goodbye, Victor. You're really weak to fire. Being a vampire, obviously. And down he goes. Yeah, this is a bit of overkill here. I would rather have the poison dart hit the midliner there, but okay. Anyway, swarm of bats. I think that's a good plan here. More and more bleed. We're gonna drop some fire here. The burning whip, that should definitely kill. Yeah, let's do that. So the berserker is down. All we have is scholar. Level 5. Against my level 1 creatures here. Alright, anyway, so this guy's gonna die through the bleed. I'm gonna deal some ice damage. AoE. Because the other option was just attacking the front line, and I wanted some damage to the back line. Holy crap! Yeah, again, level 5 against level 1. That's what you get. Another Pandora's box, as well as whiplash, as well as gold. I still invest into gold. I believe in my crew. I want them to finish it for me. Ooh, there's another seminar in the sanctuary. It's very good. I also go for an engineering upgrade here. I want the sword to apply more damage. So, question is, do we weaken the adventurers? Or do we make our people stronger? Both of these could be very interesting. I'm gonna go with the seminar. Let's see. Ooh, that's nice. We get Enrage 3, which applies more damage. I would have actually wanted the speed increase more, but okay. Enrage is also good. It's just about all upfront big damage. Let's go. Event. I could sell my mug, my troll beer? No. No, thank you. And then another event, and then we are going all in. He's asking you to provide him with one of your employees in exchange for some gold? No, I'm not using any gold anymore, and Victor is one of my strongest monsters. So, it is time. It is actually time to set up for the ultimate fight. That's how we do it. Okay, some of them are not in the best state, so the troll beer would not apply any bonus damage. But here we go with the champion. Champions are unique. I like the highest tier of the adventurers, and one of them is now seeded into this. It is an archmage. Crazy. 70 ice damage. Passive. Gains flame shield 1 when he's attacked. Reflects percentage and damage taken as fire damage. Also, passive deals 20 ice damage to all monsters when he kills a monster. Wow. Right, we have also AoE nature damage and AoE fire damage. That's bad. It's like all the worst that we could acquire here. Whew. I want you. What is your weakness? Your weakness is nature, but the other's weakness is not nature. Fire, maybe. Kind of. That is so weird. I think I'm putting Victor on the field here. And maybe Kogan. Maybe it's Kogan. Oh, we're gonna die so badly. Yeah, I'll take Kogan. Let's see. There's a circular saw, level 4, obviously, taking that. And then what? This guy needs to die with nature. He has 500 health as well. The ice damage to the front. This is all really bad. And put you over there, and then we hope the best, I would say. Applies air weakness when attacking. Air resistance is reduced by 40. Yeah, we have no combo piece for that. Alright. Poison dart at the very end. And I have the feeling that we're gonna see the champion attacking our slave holder. Let's go, guys. So, swarm of bats. Definitely get as much bleeding as possible on these enemies. Ah, with a bit of luck we can stun him. There's a scramble. It's bad. It's really bad. No, is it? Maybe it's not. I'll do the blood spread. Sure, let's go. I need this assassin down. The ninja here. Right, here comes the big damage. He survived it. Frenzy? No, you know what? More bleeding stacks mean... more bleeding stacks apply to the backline, and we got the stun. Yeah. Still alive! Oh! Alright! So, Ninja is technically dead, I would say. No, we go Frenzy because it's the last attack of our orc anyway. Skeleton? Come on, maybe? We got a skeleton! And it's even attacking! Let's go dual slash! Holy macaroni! Never mind, everything was coming together. What? That wasn't even hard! Look at that! Second room is not even, like, second monster room is not even coming. Boom! There we go! Goodbye! Sit down, son. So, we get a level 1 Juboko. That deals nature damage in AoE and demoralizes enemies. Also dealing air damage in AoE and demoralizing enemies. And gains immunity at the start of the dungeon. It's protected against hero skills. Nah, that's so good. Then there's also a mouth shutter. Like silence, can't use hero skills, which is interesting. It's an interesting, like, star level trap. And then there's the mysterious screwdriver. Each trap has a 10% chance of gaining multi-action. We're doing twice then. I would take that, but I would also take this guy. He's really good. So.
Good work. We'd like to offer you a promotion.
Promotion. So here's the thing. That was the first year. We are getting now a promotion, adding a third monster room to the dungeon. But the monster room has a debuff. Either we are slow, we are vulnerable, or we are tired, reducing the damage for 3 turns. I'm gonna go with the slow here. However, this is the second year. And we're gonna continue that in the next episode of Legend of Keepers, where we are playing promotion. It's gonna be a lot harder. And we have to continue with what we got. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to leave a rating. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this. And I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.